Hey Twisted Ones, Mish here of Twisted by Mish, and I've got a little video here for you that is part of a collaboration series for Samhain from myself and Innerji, the Metaphysical Crone. And today I'm going to talk about soul cakes. Soul cakes or Samhain cakes. These little cakes were baked as offerings for our beloved dead. So baked as like little gifts to offer up to them. There's also stories about them being baked and given in return for prayers for their beloved dead, so used as an exchange kind of thing, as well as being made specifically to leave as offerings to the angry spirits as such. So to give to appease the angry spirits, and then after the day and night of Samhain, they would later be buried to make sure that nobody accidentally ate them, because that was they were the ones that contained the I guess you'd say ghastly energies from the angry spirits. So today I'm going to make them. I'm making them with a recipe that I was given many years ago, and it's a traditional recipe, just basic ingredients. So yeah, let's go ahead and make some. Okay, starting with your 300 grams of flour. I use a wholemeal flour, and add to that 125 grams of butter. I've chopped mine up into smaller pieces just to make it easier to incorporate with the flour. You can also, if you've got really cold butter, grate it into the flour. It will also help you to rub it together a bit quicker. Just rubbing the flour and butter together here. You want to just get it to resemble a breadcrumb. So just rubbing between the fingers. I'm a bit of a rustic cook, as you'll see, and so don't worry too much if it's not too fine a crumb type of texture. In these kinds of cakes, it works out fine. The end result is still the same. Okay, so once you've got that to resemble like a breadcrumb, you'll see it'll sort of clump together a little bit. You can add in your spices. Now, state their purpose. Cinnamon, we've got for protection. Nutmeg for luck. Ginger for health, ginger for success, and allspice for health. Okay, and then just stir those in to combine. You see, I use a butter knife. This is something that's been taught to me by my mum and my grandmothers, to use the knife, because it for this type of cake won't overwork the dough. Okay, liquids in another bowl, wet ingredients. An egg to represent life. Okay, we've got some apple cider vinegar to protect and cleanse, some milk also for life, and honey for binding together, for bringing everything together with a little sweetness. And thinking about the honeybees, and the honey is the reward for their hard work. Okay, so just want to combine those wet ingredients in a bowl. My honey probably could have been warmed a little bit just to make it blend in a little bit easier. but as you'll see, like the end result works out fine. So just mix all those together, and then you want to add them in the center of your dry ingredients, just giving them a stir, stirring them in, again using the knife. Okay, and then a couple of intentional stirs, from spiraling in from the outside, going in a clockwise motion, bringing in all that love and gratitude for, you know, those who came before us, for those who taught us how to cook, the grandmothers, the ancestors, and just, yeah, stirring in a bit of gratitude there. Once you get it all nicely combined, you want to give your hands a little bit of a flour and just bring it all in together. This is a really soft dough. If you need to, add a little bit more flour. Once you've got it all together, you want to turn it out onto a floured board, and just sort of press it all together. Okay, some people might like to refrigerate it here and to get it a little bit firmer so you can roll it out, but I find just to plonk it on the board and press out instead of worrying about a rolling pin. You just want to make it all even in thickness so that when your Samhain cakes are baking, they will all bake at the same time. So I'm using a cookie cutter today to cut them out into rounds. You could use a floured glass to do the same. We're looking at about 1.5 centimeters, 1 to 1.5 centimeters in thickness. It doesn't really matter, just so long as they're sort of uniform in size, so that they will all bake together at the same time. Collect up your scrap and just push it back together again so you can cut out some more. So don't waste any, just bring it all back in together and then push it out again. These ones you'll see I made a little bit thick, so I'm just pressing them out and just re-trimming them so that they're all the same size, the same thickness. Okay, the round shape is representation of the wheel of the year itself. So a representation of the wheel. Okay, otherwise if you were just making them, you could cut them even out with a knife or in any other shapes that you like. Okay, so once you've got all your rounds cut, what we want to do is to grab your knife back and put a cross mark in each of them. The cross is for remembrance, but also it is for the 4 seasons, to represent those 4 seasons and the wheel itself. Okay, so just pop a little cross in each of them. I just push it down, not quite halfway through the thickness, and again just with my trusty old butter knife. So just cross them all through. Then you're going to need, after they're all crossed, you will need a tray and just line them with, I line it with a brown parchment paper, but you could grease the tray as well. So I've just popped them on the tray and now going to give them a brush with, I've used egg wash. You could also just brush them with milk. This just makes them a little more golden when they come out of the oven. So once you've got them all brushed with the egg wash, we're going to just stud them with, today I'm using sultanas, and just to stud the quarters with the sultanas. This of course is the representation of the cardinal points as well as the wheel and the 4 seasons. Okay, so stud each of those. You could use currants or raisins, or even dried cranberries are really nice, or a combination of. But today I've got sultanas. Once that's all done, you want to pop them into an oven that's preheated to 170 degrees, no fan, and just for 10 to 12 minutes they'll come out all puffed up and golden and delicious. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you make some, or indeed if you've got a different recipe that you use, or a different way of baking them. And yeah, many blessings for Samhain, as we remember all those who came before us, and honour their memory. Okay, thank you. Bountiful blessings, everybody.